The more you show off, the less people respect you. Picture this. You share a flashy selfie of your new car, brag a little to friends about that promotion, or casually drop high-status details into conversations. Sure, you expect admiration. But then somehow the opposite happens. People start rolling their eyes, and genuine respect seems to vanish. Welcome back to Paradox Stories, where we dive into life's hidden contradictions. If you've been following along, you know we just tackled how forcing creativity can kill creativity. Now we're turning the spotlight on the more you show off, the less people respect you. Stay tuned, because in the next few minutes, we'll uncover why flaunting our wins can make them feel less impressive to others, and what you can do instead to build real, lasting respect. This episode is especially relevant in an age of social media highlight reels and influencer lifestyles. In our hyper-connected world, it's normal to want a little recognition for our efforts. But when does self-confidence turn into showing off? And why do those who boast the loudest often end up with the shallowest applause? We'll explore a story about Bryce, a successful yet insecure manager, to see exactly how overselling yourself can sabotage genuine respect. Then, we'll break down the psychology and even tap into some Stoic wisdom that can help you realign your approach. Let me introduce you to Bryce, a mid-level manager at a tech company known for one thing above all else: self-promotion. A few months back, he landed a big contract for his department. An achievement worthy of praise, no doubt. But Bryce didn't stop at a congratulatory pat on the back. Instead, he spent the next few weeks posting daily on LinkedIn about his amazing leadership skills, dropping hints about his future executive trajectory, and sending out group emails highlighting his role in the project. At first, co-workers congratulated him, but the more he bragged, the less they seemed to truly admire him. One Monday, Bryce strutted into the office wearing a custom suit and new designer shoes, loudly announcing how he'd rewarded himself for his genius. People smiled politely, but whispers grew. "We get it, Bryce. You did well. Can we move on?" Meeting after meeting, he'd find a way to pivot the conversation back to how his leadership closed the deal. What started as genuine applause became forced compliments, and then distant politeness. A turning point came when Bryce's team needed creative input for a new product. They expected him to listen to feedback, maybe even acknowledge others' expertise. But Bryce, hungry for personal attention, dismissed suggestions that didn't spotlight him. Team morale sank, and the project stalled. A few colleagues confided, "I just don't respect him like I used to. He's more about showing off than supporting us." Eventually, Bryce noticed the change in atmosphere. Fewer lunch invites, less eye contact in meetings. Even his boss seemed unimpressed by his constant self-hype. Underneath all that bravado, Bryce felt lonely. A casual chat with an old friend finally opened his eyes. "Dude, you're an amazing leader, but you've turned into your own hype machine. Have you asked yourself why you need everyone to see it so badly?" That question hit hard. For the first time, Bryce realized he'd been inflating his image partly out of insecurity, fear that if he didn't remind people how good he was, they'd forget or overlook him. With a dose of humility, Bryce pulled back. He apologized to his team for overshadowing their contributions and began praising them in meetings. His braggy social media posts became more balanced, focusing on the collective win. And, slowly, genuine respect returned. That's the paradox on full display. The more he showed off, the less people respected him, until he stopped making it all about himself. So Bryce's story begs the question, why does flaunting success so often lower our status in people's eyes, rather than raise it? Let's break down the paradox. Psychology of overclaiming. Studies show that people who excessively highlight their own achievements or status come across as less trustworthy. Why? We instinctively suspect overclaimers might be exaggerating or compensating for hidden insecurities. The status leak effect. There's research suggesting that bragging can create a status leak, where your social capital erodes because people interpret self-promotion as desperation. In contrast, quietly confident individuals often gain more respect because they let their work speak for itself. Stoic perspective. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus taught that external validation, like praise or applause, lies outside our control. When we chase that validation, we hinge our self-worth on what others think, which can lead to anxious overcompensation. True confidence, in Stoic eyes, stems from living in accordance with virtue, not from parading achievements. Cultural norms of humility. Across many cultures, humility is admired. Overselling yourself can clash with social expectations of modesty. While some environments tolerate showiness, like certain sales roles or entertainment, most everyday relationships thrive on authentic exchanges, not constant self-lauding. Here's what we can learn from Bryce's saga. Healthy self-confidence is great, but watch for the tipping point where confidence becomes self-promotion overkill. Sharing credit, acknowledging teammates, or praising friends fosters mutual respect. Ironically, you look more competent when you're not hogging the spotlight. In Stoic terms, focus on how your skills can serve the greater good. People admire you more if they see genuine generosity, not a thirst for applause. Work on internal validation. Remind yourself why you're proud of your achievements, but don't rely on public fanfare to feel whole. True excellence often shines without a megaphone. If you do amazing work, word tends to spread naturally. Now think about an area where you might be overshowing. Maybe you constantly post about your workouts, your fancy meals, or your kids' accomplishments. Ask yourself, is it coming from a place of genuine sharing, or am I seeking validation? How might you dial back the flaunting so that people's respect for you naturally grows? Drop a comment below. Share a moment when you realized you'd crossed that bragging line, or a time someone's humility truly inspired you. Your personal story could spark an epiphany for someone else in our community. Thank you for joining this journey into the more you show off, the less people respect you. If this message resonated, or if you know someone who might be just a little too focused on the spotlight, share this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more episodes of Paradox Stories. Next up, we'll tackle a fascinating principle about time management. The more you fill your schedule, the less you actually get done. If you've ever felt busy but unproductive, you'll want to tune in. Until then, remember, true respect grows when your value speaks for itself. No megaphone required.